Well, we just a few minutes ago drove back from Limestone County. We've been touring some of the areas in the state that were hit the hardest 2 days ago with the tornadoes. There in Limestone County, unfortunately, we lost two of our citizens. We lost one in Tuscaloosa. We've lost a total of three during these storms. We're not unfamiliar with tornadoes. Obviously, they have hit the state since I've been governor. We've probably toured 80 or 90 places that have been hit by tornadoes. When we were up in Limestone County, it was interesting to see when people used the safe rooms which were available, their lives were saved. In one trailer park where the two were lost, 80 people crowded into an old safe room there that had been dug out of the side of the bank. They all went in there. All of those people were saved. The ones that did not go into the safe room were not saved. But one of the things that we learned after the 2011 tornadoes is we need more community safe rooms and we need more individual safe rooms. We put most of our mitigation dollars that we were able to get from FEMA. In fact, we got $72 million in mitigation dollars. We put $59 million in safe rooms across the state, and that will be 400 community safe rooms, 4,000 individual safe rooms. Almost 100 of those were put into effect during these tornadoes that came through, so a lot of lives have been saved by those. Our Governor Emergency Relief Fund, which we have available, helps with the 25% that many cities cannot afford when they're building those with the mitigation dollars. And so that's why if someone wants to donate to the Governor's Emergency Relief Fund. It's not my money, but we have a committee that makes sure this money is spent for unmet needs, and many of the safe rooms are built with that. Here, as we're in Kimberly today, and I have the pastor. What is the name of this church here?
Kimberly Church of God.
Kimberly Church of God, and Stan Cook is our pastor here, and he's been a friend of mine for a long time, and so we're glad to be here with the people in Kimberly, and sorry to see all the destruction, but we rejoice in the fact that no lives were lost here. And that's the most important thing. We can always replace buildings, we can always replace structures, but you can't replace people. And so we're very thankful that no one was hurt.
Mayor, I spoke
Governor.
with Governor. I'm sorry. I spoke with Mayor Ellerbrock earlier today,
Right.
and he said that this is recovery. They're not going to be able to do this alone without state funding, federal funding. Can you tell us a little bit about that coming down the pipe, possibly?
Well, yesterday I asked the president for a declaration of emergency, emergency disaster declaration. This would help take care of the funding and the cost of emergency operations. It helps take care of the cost of debris removal and overtime, this type thing. We have not heard back yet from the president, but other states have asked for this also. Mississippi and Arkansas asked for it over the last 2 or 3 days. We'll see. We should know about that in the next 2 or 3 days. We have not asked for the state of emergency like we did in the 2011, which helps with the individual assistance yet. We'll wait and see what the threshold reaches. You have to meet a certain threshold in order to get funding from FEMA related to individual assistance. But hopefully we are going to get this for the cities and the counties, and we're hoping that will be approved soon.
Having been familiar with what the destruction and damage looked like from 2011 versus now, what is kind of your assessment having walked around the Kimberly area?
Well, you know, I probably have seen, I would say 80 to 90 tornadoes since I've been governor. And the results of that, we have visited every part of the state that has been hit by tornadoes. You know, I've gotten to the point that I could probably estimate this was probably about an EF2 that hit here. And it's just still, you know, if it hits your house, it's major.
Do you believe the 2011 tornadoes prompted people to go for those safe rooms that you have
Yes.
built?
Absolutely. And in fact, Lives are being saved today because of the safe rooms that we're putting into place all over the state of Alabama, and the fact that people are more cognizant and ready to listen to warnings. And all of you TV people here, I want to thank you for what y'all do. Y'all really help us across the state. You help warn the people. Our radio, but particularly television. Our meteorologists do a fantastic job. And thank all of your guys back in the station. I watch all of your stations off and on, and y'all do a great job, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it.
As governor, does it ever get any easier to tour these sites that have been hit by a tornado?
No, it really does not. You know, when you go to a place like we did this morning, we had loss of life in those areas. We know that we lost a young man, one of our students down at the University of Alabama. When you're around places where people have lost lives, it never gets any better. It was when Diane and I, my wife Diane and I, she's with me today, and when we were sitting there at about 5 o'clock the other afternoon, on Monday afternoon, and as the first tornadoes crossed the line, and I could see all the supercells in Mississippi that were lined up and all the tornado warnings across Mississippi, I went ahead and called Art Faulkner, and I told him we need to go ahead and declare a state of emergency for Alabama. Let's go ahead and put everything in place. Let's get all of our resources in place. Let's set up our emergency operations center in Clanton, and that's what we did. You know, each time we have one of these, we learn more from it. We become more and more prepared. The people of Alabama have become more prepared, and I think that's saving lives.
What's the most touching story that you've seen so far from this particular tornado?
You know, I think the most touching thing that I've seen is the fact that those who lost their lives had the opportunity to go into a safe room and did not. Now that hurts to know that you go to their house, you knock on the door, you say, please come and go into this safe room, and they decide to try to weather that storm. And unfortunately, they did not. So, you know, that probably bothers me more than anything else when we get safe rooms set up and people don't take advantage of them. But people are beginning to take advantage of them. We went to the Clements Fire Department just a few minutes ago. They had 200 people in their safe room. And in this older safe room, it really was a cellar. You know, when I was growing up, we called it the storm cellar. You know, they had 80 people to crowd into that, and all 80 of those were saved, and their houses were totally destroyed. They would not have lived through that.
Over the next couple of days, what is your conversation going to be with Commissioner Stevens, Mayor Ellerbrook, and other mayors in other cities that were hit?
Well, one of the things that we did yesterday, we had a conference call with all mayors, county commissioners, all elected officials, our sheriffs, our people in the legislature. We had a conference call. We had between 80 and 100 people on there. And so we go through all of the scenarios. We ask people if they have any questions, any problems in their area. We'll continue to work with them. They will be doing on a local level the storm debris removal. They'll bring it to the side of the road. And we will be working to see if we can get funding through FEMA to help with that. So we've already made applications for that, and this is not our first round of this. And you know, we've gotten fairly experienced at this, and so we'll continue. But each time we do this, we learn something. Now, one of the things I'd like to point out is even today, we're still having problems in our state. And right now down in Baldwin County, we had between 15 and 20 inches of rain. We have extensive flooding in that area. We have our water police and our water patrol down there really helping people get out of their areas. I have 75 more National Guardsmen on duty down there in that area. So we're working to help those people in that area right now.
And speaking of other,
you leave the Jefferson County area, are there plans to take a look at Graysville investment? They were hard hit as
We're looking at as many as we can today. We will continue to look at all the areas that have been damaged. Yes.
He has time for just one.